I feel that art and music programs to the youth is of the utmost importance. I mean, it's an outlet that they can use that currently, with all these programs being cut, they're not leaving these kids with anything. The kids are just like lost in the streets, especially I see it in my neighborhood. I see it when I travel, you know, it's like these kids need an outlet. You know, they have all these thoughts in their minds. They're dealing with all this stuff. They're going through all these things. They have stories that need to be told. And if they don't have those outlets, then it's held in. And then they find other ways to express it that might not be a positive way to do it. So these programs are important to implement. Like we have a boxing gym in the Lower East Side that I'm a part of called Overthrow, New York City. It's the home of the youth culture. It's basically a counterculture, revolutionary boxing spot where cats could come in there, get a workout, but at the same time, we have information for you because it's all about just empowering people. So we let people know about what's going on. We get involved with protests, with marches. We get involved with, we have a donation-based class that we do every Monday. So we do certain things like that. So we need more organizations that are able to do that, but of course we need funding. So that's where the resources come into play, and we need to like start collaborating more with ourselves and relying less on the government and more on the connections that we may have to work together. And if we decide to partner up with a brand, they're gonna really do a long-term project, not just a one-off pop-up thing because they wanna look cool or they wanna look like they're doing something in the community and bounce. So we just need to be like, this is something that's actively happening right now that I'm putting into place. So it's like, it's current. Like I'm just talking to all these different leaders and trying to see like how we could like make that happen, but it's necessary. When I was growing up, I had the boys club. That was the most, that was the thing that had the most impact on me, because the boys club, what that did was it was a center for people from various neighborhoods to be at in one spot. And that's actually how I was able to connect with these different neighborhoods within my neighborhood and be able to like go to these different places, because we would be part of sports programs. We would be part of the art. We would be part of the wood shop class. We would be part of like all these like different things that we were able to express ourselves through. And then after that, we would also work on doing our homework and stuff. But it was very like constructive. It was organized. It was for us to get together. So it was a hub for us to be at and also like get some type of like mentorship. So those things don't exist anymore, and that's the problem. Where I think my life would be if I didn't have the Boys Club and various programs that were in place when I was growing up, I would more than likely be locked up, because a lot of my friends and the people that I grew up with were either or are either locked up now, or they're strung out on drugs. They're dealing with mental issues. And when I say strung out on drugs, I'm not talking about like just like heroin or the stuff that you see in the streets. I'm talking about strung out on pharmaceutical drugs, because, you know, these people make so much money off of us that you go to the doctor and you tell them, you know, I'm dealing with something, and right away they prescribe something to you. And this is an epidemic that's going on in families around this whole country. Like, it's an easy way out. So for me, maybe I would have been strung out on one of those drugs. Who knows? But it would not have been a good situation, I don't think. It afforded me the opportunity to explore my creativeness. The advice I would give to a young kid anywhere would be that we are all human beings that go through different emotions, and the emotions are temporary. They're labeled differently, but they're all energy that we can all use for good. Don't get caught up in being manipulated by either the media or manipulated by people that you see in the neighborhood that you might think are like, they're the stars of the neighborhood. Because, you know, for example, there's this character in a play that I do called Hard Rock, and I see him all the time in my neighborhood. It's this dude that he's like the tough dude that, you know, he got scars to prove how tough he is or whatever, and people are afraid of him. And growing up, you might think like, oh, I want to be like that guy. But then he ends up in prison doing life in prison, and you end up seeing like, you don't really want to be like that guy. So my advice would be, don't try to be like someone else. Accept who you are, accept your flaws, accept that you are gonna fail. We all fail. Accept that and retrain your mind to rethink and relearn what we understand words to be, and flip it So failure, we look at it, oh, I don't want to fail. So that freezes you and you don't want to try anything. Accept that, embrace that. Say, I want to be a failure. I'm going to fail. You know why? Because I'm going to learn from that and I'm going to come out stronger. So it's just all about like taking certain words that we've been taught to stop us and using those words and giving it a different meaning so that they don't mess with our heads. Because the mind is a monkey, you gotta retrain it. You constantly going through all these like different thoughts, especially if you're trying something new, it's gonna try to stop you. That's self-sabotage. It's gonna say, oh, I don't know how this feels. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm not gonna try that. So you gotta control the mind and you gotta retrain it and go to the next levels. That's why Bruce Lee, one of my favorite quotes is, there are no limits. There's only plateaus. And you must not stay there. You must go beyond them. Don't ever look at it like it's a limit. It's just a plateau. Go there. And then once you get there, go to the next one. And you just keep going. It's all a journey. There's going to be ups and downs. Accept it, embrace it. Don't think, oh, my life and this and that. Oh, this person has this or this person has that. You're a unique specimen. You're your own person. You're an individual. There's no blueprint to it. Don't get caught up in that. Do your thing. Enjoy the journey.